Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. It's Tuesday. Oh my goodness. So let me get this shared around real quick. Yes, indeed, real quick. Dun-dun. Say God is in this moment. Finding the groups. Hold on. Finding the groups. Molly's customers, Molly's, everything that says Molly. Okay. Yes, indeed. And then switch this around. So if you're here live, please, hey, say hello. Tell me something good. I would love to hear something good. I am hopefully on the back end of this crud. I still have some stuff going on in my throat, but hey, little by little, it's going away. God's got me and taking lots of supplements and all that good stuff. Oh, hearing myself. Okay, here we go. Setting up this so I can see. So how's everybody's week so far? For sure. Hopefully good. It's only Tuesday, so hopefully good. Hi, Gwenda. Good to see you. Quentin says, good morning, asking for prayers. Jeremy's grandmother passed on. We'll travel to Memphis this weekend. Oh, Quentin, I'm so sorry. Ah, losing loved ones is always hard, but it doesn't end there, my friend. So you're gonna see him. You're gonna see her again, and she'll be whole then, not old. Probably doing things you never seen her do before. Heaven can be a. I know it's gonna be the most amazing experience ever when I get there, and I can see all these people that I miss and that have gone on before, and when you have that promise that you will be there again to see them, it doesn't take away the mourning, it doesn't take away the pain, but it does give you hope, which I love. Hi, Rosie, good to see you. Weather is it's a little bit windy outside today. We are still playing with the whole rains coming in, and sometimes it's warmer than normal, and sometimes I don't know. I just need North Carolina to bring its weather back how it was. It's one of the reasons that I moved down here so I didn't have to deal with all that cold stuff. What a glorious day it will be when I get to see my granny and cousin and brother and everyone else. Love you too. Absolutely, Quentin. We're all going to be celebrating together. And you know what? Jesus is going to make us all whole. And I'm looking for that. Let me tell you something, because the older I get, there's always something that keeps breaking. You know what I'm saying? Um, oh, Jennifer says, please lift up our Avon sister, April Boggs, who is in a fight against pancreatic cancer. That is way too close to my heart. My mama had to fight that years and years and years ago, and Jennifer, we will. I will put her on the prayer list. Um, they are learning more and more about that cancer, things that I wish definitely were out. Cancer as a whole is just, I believe it's definitely just driven by the devil and this wicked, wicked earth and things that it produces. And I hate to see anybody, children, anybody get smitten with this. We've so many people fighting out there, breast cancer, and man, this world can be an ugly place, and all we're supposed to do is bring some light into it. Um, and you never know where God's miracles are going to be. Sometimes God's miracles are right out here in front of us every single day, and we miss them. And sometimes the miracles come, and sometimes miracles come on the other side. I can remember when I finally got the fact that my mama's body was so tired, and Lee's dad, his body was so tired. And I had a couple of people say, well, I don't understand. If you believe in God, why didn't God just heal him? And I said, he did. He just healed him on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Believe me, I'm very jealous. I am very, very jealous of the people who've gone on before because they got to run into the arms of Jesus. And I can't even imagine what it's like to be hugged by Jesus. But I bet there is nothing that compares. That's what I believe. So until then, I'm taking all the hugs that we give each other down here. So Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing that, so everybody can pray for April. And pray for her family and pray for everybody who knows her, loves her. I do believe that God still works miracles. And I do believe that sometimes the miracle is what happens in the midst of things like this. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Jen says healing comes from him, Isaiah 54:17. Yep. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. In every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me, says the Lord. Amen, sister. Amen. Um, Cynthia says, my mama got her healing in December. God bless you, Cindy. Yes, absolutely. Man, life is hard. People still ask me, especially with me sharing this in all my groups, every group that I am the admin in, I share this. And I tell people, I'm not pushing anything down your throat. But I believe that even people who are not sure whether they believe in God, I believe that when things happen in their life, and they have a sick child or a sick parent or a sick friend or something bad has happened with their finances or there's an accident or something, it always seems to me that it's not people going, well, we're going to hope for the best. I think what happens is at some time or other, you're dropping to your knees and you're saying, God, please hear me. And what I'm telling you is I hope that doesn't happen to anybody that's watching this. But what I do believe is during the toughest times of our life, if you have and are establishing a relationship with God, that it will definitely make the walk easier to know that you're not alone, that you're not alone in the walk, that he absolutely is right there. So I hope that today will help you. I hope that there's a lot of things going on in life today. There's a lot of people struggling. There's a lot of people struggling in belief. There's a lot of brokenness out there. There are a lot of people hurting people. There is a lot of unknowns out there in people's lives. There is sometimes things don't always turn out how you really thought they could turn out, right? And sometimes relationships are not what you saw they would be, or sometimes relationships, sometimes it's they take a hiatus and you're hoping, please God, I want this relationship to grow. I want to nurture it. I want it to be better. And a lot of times what happens is you just simply need to be still and you need to listen. As I get older, I truly believe in exactly what I've been told, which is my God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He is never late. He is never early. But he is always on time. So that may not agree with your timeline right now, okay? I need you to know that. It may not agree with your timeline, but it's not your timeline that's important, because there is something in God's timeline that you are going to be where you need to be, with who you're supposed to be, when you wait for his lead. And you know what? It's okay to ask him. Ask him to lead you. Everybody laughs when people talk to me, whether it's about business or issues that the company's having. Whether it's my life with my kids, whether it's my marriage, whether it's just me messing up. Um, I always say when I'm praying to God, I am so brutally honest with Him. Now, it's like when I have conversations with Him, yes, I praise Him. Yes, I thank Him. I do that. But I talk to Him like He's my best friend. Like, I'm just like, okay, look, Jesus. Like, I know you may want me to do this, but Lord, if this is what you want me to do, could you do me a favor? Don't just sprinkle a little something there. I need you to open the door so wide that the light coming in is going to blind me. Don't tap me with a little stick, Jesus, okay? Hit me over the head with a 2x4. And let me know what you want from me. Because see, if He's not in it, it doesn't work for me. If He is not part of that journey, if He cannot walk that journey with me, it's not a good journey for me. And I think that when you figure that out, that life is so much better when you are walking with Him. It's a whole lot better than when you walk away from Him. And I need you to know this is not somebody who's always had a good walk with God. I need you to know that. Why do you think I do this? I do this because you seem to think that the bad things you've done are going to keep you away from a good God. And I'm here to tell you all the bad things I've done, all the mistakes I've made, all the things that I should have done, all the times I should have listened or taken the hint or done something different or listened to God talking to me and I didn't. Whether that's because I was mad at Him, whether that's because I just thought I knew better. I need you to know. I tell you all of this because you're not any more lost than I was. I am not the person who always gets it right. To this day, I am not the person who always gets it right. But I am the person who is always asking for forgiveness and saying, help me get back up, God, and show me what you want from me. Because I'm all ears. And yeah, sometimes I try to reason with Him. You know, God will give you a sign. God will say, He opens that door and there's that door, right? You know you're supposed to walk through the door. It couldn't be any more evident, but it looked a little different than what I had imagined. And I'm kind of like the person who's like, you know what, I see that door. I see what you opening for me. I see how I think you want to answer this. But God, do you think that just maybe we could just tweak this a little bit? God don't need no tweaking, Molly. Stop it, Molly. Stop it, Mama Molly. God don't need no tweaking. I need tweaking. 100%. So when you fall or if you feel like you can't rise to the occasion, it's not about always rising to the occasion. It's getting back up and knowing that even when you fall off your journey with God, He's still there to wait for you to get back on the saddle with Him. He is. He is. I know that firsthand. Don't let, and I say this all the time, I'm going to say it again today, don't let a bad Christian or a bad church or a bad experience rob you of a good God. Because He only wants the best for you. But when I say that, that doesn't mean you're never going to have trials and tribulations. It doesn't mean that just because you know God, that life is going to be wonderful. See, people seem to think that, you know what, I get to know, and everything is good. Everything God does is good. Everything God allows. Now, let me tell you something. This world is not good. We are all sinners. Even when you find God, it's not that you're not a sinner. You still are. It's just that now you know a forgiving God. And when you ask for forgiveness, that blood He shed, it just covers that. When you confess, He just covers that. He knows that you still don't have the ability to be perfect now. But when you know you have a God who will see you through it, it can be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let me go back here real quick. Hi Roger. I see Roger's here. I'm doing well, Roger. I still sound like, but I feel good. So I just got to get rid of the rest of the snot in my head. Hi Michelle. Good to see you. Lee says I had a peace that surpassed all understanding when my pops passed. It can only be explained as it came from God. Absolutely. Pops just he fought so long and so hard, and we are so proud of him because he is such a fighter. And I think God gave him all those extra years he shouldn't have had. And in that time, I watched my husband develop a relationship with his dad that just would make you smile. And I'm so lucky too, because for the second time in my life, I had a father-in-law that I just couldn't have loved anymore if he was my own dad. He taught me so much. He taught me how to laugh at myself. And he moved people. You fell in love with him when you met him. He was a tough guy, but he also was just as loving as he was tough. So yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Sandra's here. Hi, Sandra. Good to see you. Okay, so let's get to this because I have a busy day today. I have a lot of Zooms today. I have an order I have to take to a customer today. Lot going on in my world these days for sure. But I need you to know it's okay. I'm here for it. The good, bad, and the indifferent. I am here for it. And God, if you're listening, my ears and my eyes are wide open, and let everybody else's be with today's devotion. Okay, so you know that we have started the Seem Beautiful again. And hi, Jennifer Henry. How are you, babe? Good to see you. Um, I found Liza through a friend, Kathy, that I used to go to church with when I was going through my cancer scare. And she sent me this wonderful devotional book. And then when I finally listened to God and started doing these devotionals on Tuesday with y'all, that's what I did it with. I did it with those because it spoke to me so greatly that I just knew there were other people that needed it, right? And then when I was in Hobby Lobby, which I just recently discovered in December, do not judge me. No, I have seen them everywhere. I had never been in one. I don't know why. I don't know why. Always saw them, never had been in one, and went in one in December and immediately fell in love with the store, with the whole vibe of the store, with the people who work in the store, with the music in the store, with everything they offer. So I got to believe that God showed up at Hobby Lobby at the right time, right? And I found this book of hers. Hi, Tammy. Good to see you, baby. Um, we're on the third devotional. The title of this one, and I have to tell you, I've read this and I've read it again, and it is amazing to me how so far so far, again, only the third one, I have been able to relate to everything this lady has said. Like, I feel like if I believed in reincarnation, I believe I could have been her in another life. Okay, that's what I believe, and she's just so real and has gone through so much, and God bought her stuff to me at a time that I needed it, and I'm hoping that that's what's happening here with you too. This one is called I Don't Want This to Be Part of My Story. So what I want to preface this with is this. Have you ever seen something coming in your life? A bad experience, like a bad train wreck that was getting ready to happen. Like you could see it and you knew you just wanted it to be different. Maybe it's a relationship with somebody. No matter what it is, but you see it coming, you know there's no way to stop it. Things are happening. Never happens at a good time, but you say to yourself, this isn't what I signed up for. You say to yourself, wait a minute, I don't want this to be part of my story. Maybe it's somebody who's sick. Hi, Sue Ann. Oh, girlfriend, get better. You're going to beat that stupid COVID. I'm so sorry you have it. You're going to beat it, sister, but I'm so sorry you have it. We'll pray for you for sure. Um, You don't want, Sue Ann does not want COVID to be in her story, okay? Let me just use that, okay? She doesn't want that to be in her story. And have you figured out that sometimes when you go through things, sometimes you need to see that you can get through them. And sometimes the worst things that happen teach you so much about yourself, teach you so much about life. And sometimes they give me a lesson in God speak, for sure. This is huge. This is based on the verse Isaiah 40:29, which says, He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Have you ever just felt so weak, whether you're sick or whether it's just life experience, weary, like just you just don't want to put one foot in front of the other, right? I mean, you are just like, I don't need this. I don't want this. I don't think I can go on with this. This makes me sad. I feel betrayed. I feel mad. I feel everything. I hear you. I don't want this to be a part of my story, but somehow or other, it's here. And we have to figure out how we're going to deal with it, how we're going to walk it, and how we're going to let God lead. This is a devotional. Dear God, please don't let this be part of my story. I wrote this in my journal, unable to process how a God who loves me and promises to protect me could allow this diagnosis on top of an already devastating season. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like you're going through enough and you just don't need COVID too? You just don't need the flu. You just don't need this to be happening in business. You don't need the unconnection that you're feeling with your kids or your husband or something in your life. You don't need to be laid off. You don't need your hours to be reduced. You just don't need it. How can a God who loves me and promises to protect me allow this diagnosis on top of an already devastating season? When I first got my cancer diagnosis in the fall of 2017, my husband and I were separated. It wasn't my choice to live alone. And just about every single night during that intensely lonely season, I prayed with tears running down my face. I had been so sure God was going to move in a powerful way and somehow start making things turn around. But instead of things getting better, they just seemed to get worse and worse. And now cancer? When life is unfolding in hard ways, it can feel impossible to understand why God would allow hurt upon hurt. This is speaking to me, so I don't know if it's speaking to you, if you're watching this live, if you're watching this replay. And I've already read this twice, so wow. How could his mercy not fix all of this? How could he possibly use any of this for good? I felt that after my mom died. The biggest lesson I learned during that season is how limited our human vision really is. We see more and more unnecessary heartbreak, but God sees the exact pieces and parts that must be added right now to protect us, provide for us, and prepare us with more and more of his strength working through us. Good morning, Paula. We can't always assume the broken pieces of our life circumstances are terrible and pointless. Not with our God. One day, as I was reading Genesis chapter 2, I realized that out of all the ingredients in the world, God chose dust to breathe life into and create mankind. He chose dust. Immediately, I wrote in my journal how much this encouraged my heart and helped me realize something different about the circumstances of my life that seemed beyond repair and reduced to dust. Broken pieces and dust. Morning, Brandy. I wrote, dust doesn't signify an end. It often must be present for new to begin. A few days later, I shared with a friend about how when we place the dust of our life into God's hands and He mixes it with His living water, wata for all you other people, I say water, don't judge me, the clay that's formed can be made into anything. She smiled so big because her mom is a professional potter. She'd seen clay being formed into many beautiful things when placed into her mother's hands. And she shared something with me that made my jaw drop. She told me that wise potters not only know how to form beautiful things from clay, but they also know how important it is to add some of the dust from previously broken pieces of pottery to the new clay. This type of dust is called grog. G-R-O-G, grog. Look it up, I did. A good potter takes broken pieces of pottery and shatters them to make the grog most useful for adding it to new clay. When shattered just right, the grog dust added to the new clay will enable the potter to form that clay mixture into a larger and stronger vessel than it could otherwise be. And it can go through fires much hotter as well. Plus, when glazed, these pieces end up having a much more beautiful, artistic look to them than they would have otherwise. Isn't that incredible? That when you take the broken parts, hi Charlene, when you take the broken parts that are shattered on the floor, and there is dust of the hurt, and all the ways that you have failed or fallen, or all the devastation that has come into your life, all the hurt, all the betrayal, and that God can pick up parts of that dust and add it to you, what He's trying to create in you, and it makes you bigger, larger, stronger, that you can go through fires in life that you could never, ever see yourself going through. And then when you're done with going through those fires, that those pieces, you turn out to be much more beautiful because of the struggles, because of God walking you through it. And then I read Isaiah 45:9. Woe to those who quarrel with their maker, those who are nothing but potsherds among the potsherds on the ground. Does the clay say to the potter, what are you making? Does your work say, the potter has no hands? I kept reading that verse from Isaiah and decided to dive a little deeper into the term potsherd. A potsherd is a broken piece of pottery. A broken potsherd can lie on the ground and be nothing more than a constant reminder of brokenness and failure. It can also be used to continue to scrape us and hurt us even more when we grasp it in our hands. Or the master potter can be entrusted to take that potsherd, shatter it just right, and then use it in remolding us to make us stronger and even more beautiful. Oh, are you hearing this? I don't know how many times I may have read that, but are you hearing this? That He's going to take what's broken, He's going to take the failures, He's going to take everything that's there, and He is going to remold it to make you stronger, better, even more beautiful, and willing to share your story? When I understood this, I saw that God was keeping me moldable while adding even more strength and beauty in the process. Much like he promises in our key verse for today, he gives strength to the weary, and he increases the power of the weak. Isaiah 40:29. I didn't want to have cancer. There's no part of my human brain that thinks cancer is fair for any precious person who receives his diagnosis. God didn't cause this potsherd reality in my life. It's the result of living in a sin-soaked world. But I had to decide I didn't want that broken reality to just be a potsherd wasted on the ground or something I kept in my hand that hurt me more. I had to decide I wasn't going to hold on to it. I had to decide I wasn't going to let it defeat me. I had to decide that God knew what he was doing and that he could use it. I had to take it and entrust it to the Lord. Sandra, I'm so glad you're on here. What do you need to entrust to him today? What is it that you need to give to God? I'm here to tell you that lately in my life, I have just had to hand so much over to him in the last months because I myself, by myself, could make no logic and could find no answer for it. So I had to say, I don't know what this looks like, God, but I'm going to entrust you with this. And I'm going to take everything that I've got here, all these broken pieces. And by the way, some of them I didn't create. They happened at the hands of others. Some of this I didn't create. It just hurt me so bad because it happened to people I love. But I had to be willing to entrust it all to God. God is making something beautiful out of our lives. Let me say it again, friend. God is trying to make something beautiful out of our lives. I really believe that. We can keep questioning what he sees as the necessary ingredients to strengthen us, or we can choose to believe. You can keep questioning him. You can keep trying to reason with him the way that I've done. Or you can stop questioning, stop trying to figure out why he's using this hardship, this diagnosis, that diagnosis, and understand that God is only going to use the necessary ingredients, good and bad, to strengthen us. Or we can choose to believe he can do amazing things with the dust and potsherds of our lives. I know it's not easy. And by the way, God never promised easy. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I will fear no evil. Man, I don't want to fear it, but I got to tell you, I still got times I fear it. But that is an anthem for me. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, the death of something you don't want to see. It doesn't always have to be your death. I mean, if I die, I'm going to be better, right? I'm going to be the best I've ever been. If God take me right after let me get through the call. God take me right after the call. I'm going to be in a much better spot than y'all. People here may grieve. Somebody might celebrate. Who knows? But I am telling you that sometimes that's when God moves you. We can choose to believe he can do amazing things with the dust and the potsherds of our lives. I know it's not easy, but let's surrender every broken piece into God's hands. Give it to him, the dust, the broken pieces. Don't worry that it's on the floor. Don't let go of it. Put that piece you're trying to hold on to, that thing you're trying to hold on to, that broken piece, and you don't know why it broke. You don't know why it fell off the table. You don't have any idea why all of a sudden it just blew up. You got no clue. Quit trying to hold on to the pieces because you think you know what you can make out of it, and drop it. Let God show you what he can do with all the dust, all the broken pieces, all the disappointments, all the bad stuff. Give it to him and let him take you and the broken stuff. He'll pick just the parts he needs, and he will mold you like a potter molds clay, and you're going to be able to handle things that obviously are going to come in the future. But he's going to use this to make you stronger. He's going to use this to make you more confident in him. He's going to use this to add to your story. Have you heard the song, God is in this story? When I was going through my cancer thing, that song came out, and I have to tell you that is one of my fave. Matter of fact, if you watch reels of mine, that song's probably on more reels of mine than any other song. Because everything I do, I want God to be in the story. As scary as it is, I don't want to push him out of the story. And we need to let go of those pieces we're trying to hold on to. And we need to let him guide you to much better, to much stronger. And it'll increase your faith. It'll increase your faith that although it looks so bad, he knew what he could make out of it. No, I don't believe God brings cancer on people. Again, I think that's of the world. I think it's of the devil for sure. I don't think. But what I do know is no matter how bad a situation is, God can pick up the pieces and he can use it, and it can give you a strong, beautiful story. I believe that God sees things that I can't see. God, give us courage to press in even when I'm resistant to what you're trying to do in my life, even when it's scary, even when it's different. Even when it's not what I wanted, it wasn't my goal. This wasn't where I wanted this to go. It's not where I wanted the relationship to go. That's not what I looked at. But God, I know you have eventual good in mind, and I will trust you with all my heart. Man, oh man, oh man. Third time I've read that in a couple of days, and still it hits me so strong. Hi, Jan. Love this Bible verse. I needed to hear it. It's been a year since my stroke. He's given me strength throughout. Yes, Jan. He's just taking the dust, sister, and he's molding. He's molding. I know that there are people out there who are very angry with God, because he seems to be the one that everybody gets mad at the most. You know, I tell you what, my God he's an amazing, amazing God, because he don't take nothing personal, I don't think, because he's still waiting for you to turn around and say, I'm sorry, I should have been trusting you the whole time. I'm sorry that I didn't see where you were trying to lead me. I'm sorry that I was scared, God. I didn't want to make that change. God, I'm sorry. I didn't want to see something different. God, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you might have other plans for me, because I saw myself somewhere else. I saw myself not with cancer years ago. I saw myself. I'm just telling you. God knows. He doesn't give us the bad things, but he will walk us through every bad thing and use the potsherd. Use the grog. use the brokenness. My friend, we have been doing this. I forget what when I uploaded this. Well, this will be episode 71 of Jesus, Molly's Moments with Jesus. And as much as I know God led me to do this for others, what he's done with me through this, how he's used me and increased my faith, how he has used this Liza Turkhurst and her experiences that she shares so openly that I can identify with, that I get it. Like, I want to just say, I so get you. If I could have coffee with her, oh my goodness, I so get you. You've lived so much of my life. And because you've shared it, I realize God's not done with me yet. And I need you to know the same. Some of you have gotten angry or hurt or used or whatever that is, and you have a suitcase full of all this. And instead of feeling it and then moving on, you have unpacked there. You have unpacked with the hurt. You have unpacked with always thinking somebody's who's going to try to hurt you next. Always unpacked with, but I want this a different way, and I'm sitting right here with this bundle of crap in this suitcase because I know what I want, and it involves all this dust and all these broken shards that could cut me and hurt me, and I want the vessel I was building. And God said, I got something so much better for you. But you got to be open. You got to be willing. You got to trust me. You got to walk with me. You got to know that I got you. Leave those broken pieces and let me show you what I can do with them. That is some good stuff right there. But you got to be willing. You got to be willing to let him use it and quit thinking that he's going to do it overnight. This is a process. I'm 60 years old, y'all. Going to be 61 in June. This is a process. And if you're like me, sometimes it takes him much longer to get through to me because I'm stubborn. And sometimes I think I know what's best, and I don't. God loves you, but he's not going to drag you. He is a gentleman. He will open the doors. He will walk with you. And he will sit there, and he will probably be sad with you when you're sad. But all he's waiting for is for you to wipe your tears and look up into his eyes and say, I'm ready. What do you have for me? How are you going to use this for your glory? I'm ready to be stronger. Sounds good here. But to put the actions behind it, man, that's huge. Lee says Jonah did this while he finally preached to the Ninevites. That story ends with him sulking on a cliff with God trying to love him. Yep, absolutely. Let it go, y'all. Listen to God. Quit trying to reason with him, and know that those pieces that you think are so broken, God could never use them. Just let them go. Tell him that you're ready to be used. And you've already walked through bad stuff. So why not just keep walking until you get to the strength and let the fire make you stronger. The fire of God molding you into something bigger than you've ever known. Man, I'm almost there. Hope I look as good as you. Oh, thanks, Charlotte. Yeah, I gotta tell you some good makeup and skincare, right, sister? Still losing some of my hair from the whole COVID thing way back. You know what? I figure this is what he made. I'm okay with it, and whoever wants to love it can love it, and if they don't, that's okay, because Jesus got me. I do my best to take care of it. I fail sometimes, especially when I'm into the Cheetos, but that's a whole nother story. We won't get there. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Can I tell you? Choose it. Don't just say, I hope everything happened and everything okay. Don't say that. Choose it. Choose it, because things are going to go wrong. Something's going to piss you off. Something's going to make you feel like God's not in it. And the thing is, He's there, but the good is always going to be somewhere in it. He's going to use something, but your attitude has to say, God, what in the world? What in the world is it? How are you going to use this? And then don't forget to ask Him to use it, and then watch. Watch it and be willing. I love you. Even if you don't love me and you're just sitting there scowling back like, I wish she'd shut up. Why is she putting this into groups? This is not what this is about. Oh, believe me. Rather this is business, rather this is friendship, rather this is my secondhand treasure, no matter what it is. My God is in it all, no matter what. And as long as He keeps directing me to do this, then I will be here walking this journey with you every Tuesday, hoping to bring something that will just touch one of you. And today, this message has touched me for the third time because I read it 3 times. So even if you don't get nothing out of it, man, God just showed me again. I love you guys. Take care. Love your people. Love Jesus.